friends, and welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. This is Katie, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you are back, welcome back. I'm happy that you're back. Tonight, we are sitting down to do a WIP and Chat together, and if you're not familiar with what that means, a WIP is a work in progress, and chat is a chat. So I'm going to be working on a diamond painting and just chatting with you guys for a bit. You can work on a diamond painting as well, or any other crafty projects, or I hear some people have me on in the car putting them to sleep at night, whatever works for you. It'll just be a nice chance for us to catch up a bit. So also be sure to leave a comment and let me know how you're doing, and comment along as we go, I suppose. I know that sometimes with the WIP and Chats, when they go like an hour or something like that, I almost have to keep like a list of notes of things that I want to respond to when other people do them, because otherwise I'll forget by the time I get to the end and want to leave a comment. Anyway, that's just me. So let me give you all of the stats and whatnot for tonight. I am working on Black Hole in the Milky Way. This is from the artist Tanya Shatseva, and she has legally licensed this piece to 2 different diamond painting companies. This one is the kit from Craftably. It's the first Craftably kit that I've worked on. It's a 50 by 50, so it's going really quickly. In last week's WIP and Chat, I was just finishing up my last work in progress, the Diamond Dots kit. Started this the next day, and I just have these 2 sections left, so I'm either going to finish it tonight or tomorrow. Other goodies, this minder feels very apt for today. It says, I can't adult today. It's from Enabler's Outpost. The pen this is Tectonic is the name of this pen. This is from Lazy River Wood Turning. This is a new tray that just came in from Unimade. It's one of their smaller trays, which I usually use their large trays, but this one is, I don't remember the name of this color, but it's like a sparkly, like icy blue, and I just really had the itch to use it. And then I just got some new patty wax for the first time in quite a while. So this is kiwi, and I got on the recommendation of a friend. It smells amazing. Also, I'm using, this is my pen that has my all-in-one everlasting stainless steel tip in it, and I haven't used it in a while, and kind of one of my things that I like to do in my WIP and Chats now is I like to challenge myself to okay, use new things, or even if it's not new, use things that you haven't used in a while. Okay. If you're interested in checking out any of the shops that I mentioned for these, I link everything in the description of my videos, so feel free to go and check that out. Let me grab a color and let's get started. So, tell me, how are you doing today? It's Sunday night as I'm recording. My husband and I just finished watching the first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Really enjoyed it. We're big Marvel fans. We watched WandaVision, and that was lots of fun, and glad we get to roll right into another show. So, yeah, it's been a relatively relaxing weekend for us. But, it's always tough when it's like the weekend's ending and we go back to Monday and school and work and whatnot. But no, the kids had a really good weekend. I wanted to also say thank you before I forget. Thank you to everyone that came and hung out with Lindsay and I in our live on Tuesday. Lindsay over at Life with Lindsay. She and I had been talking about doing a live together on YouTube for quite some time. We finally made it happen this past Tuesday, and you guys, we had so much fun. And I knew that there was going to be plenty of laughter and lots of silliness, because that's just who we are. We both love to laugh. We both get up to trouble. It was good. It was a fun time. And I know she mentioned as much in her WIP and Chat this week, but I have to reiterate it here. You guys completely blew us away with just showing up and hanging out with us and having a really fun time with us, and just with your generosity. Like, I think both of us ended up in tears at one point, and like the good tears, like the happy tears. So thank you guys for that, and for making her first live, a blast. It was a really fun time. I am having trouble seeing just because of how I have my lighting set up. Make sure I'm actually placing the right symbols. I am thoroughly enjoying this kit. Genuinely, the only complaint that I have is that there are a couple of symbols that are really similar to one another. And I want to say that I saw Craftably comment on someone's Instagram post about it and say that they've changed their charting. This was a kit I had gotten back on Black Friday. So it's really not that bad. Honestly, if I used a light pad, I would be making it a lot easier for myself, but I'm stubborn. I basically never use a light pad, so I don't even want to pull it out if I can get away with it. But what I usually do is the symbols that are the hardest to see. I actually don't know how much a light pad would help. I find it much easier to see what they are if I'm looking at them in natural daylight. Have you ever found that to be the case, by the way? Like if there are dark or blurry symbols on your canvas, have you found sometimes that using a light pad can make it worse? That your better bet is to have a better overhead light or to have like an indirect natural light? I don't know. I found that to be the case on some of my canvases before. It just seems to depend. And I don't know if it has to do with the saturation of the colors or the exact colors that are being problematic. I'm not totally sure. But like I said, this canvas has otherwise been really fun to work on. It's been very stretching. And I mean that in the sense that like this is not a piece of artwork that I normally would have chosen to work on for diamond painting. And I've really liked it, but at the same time I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want to stretch myself in terms of artwork again. At least not for a little bit, because this is really far outside of my comfort zone. But it's been really interesting. And I think it's been like, it's good, right? To stretch yourself sometimes. I know I've talked about that before. So, we'll see. I don't know if I'll be doing another Tanya Shatseva, even though her artwork is beautiful. It's not as relaxing to work on because it just, I don't know, kind of gets my mind going. So, oh, by the way, because I think some of you had asked before Lindsay and I went live on Tuesday, I took a picture of the crazy setup that I do. And this was just for the live because I had to set up upstairs. So we live in a 2-story condo. And because of what time I was doing the live, my kids were still going to be awake. And I really, we don't have a lot of space. I've mentioned, I know a million times, we live in a small space. I do all my diamond painting and my filming at night after they go to bed at my kitchen table, which is in the middle of our just downstairs area, which is not huge. But for going live, I really didn't want to both A, be distracted by my kids running around, and B, drive you guys crazy from hearing my kids' shenanigans. Like even when I'm upstairs behind a closed door, I know you guys, I could still hear on the replay. So I know you guys could hear the shenanigans that my children were up to downstairs with my husband. So I just went to really ridiculous and silly lengths to get like a working setup upstairs in our bedroom. So if I can, I will insert a picture here so you guys can see a little peek behind the scenes of what it's like to make YouTube videos and go live and stuff like that. It's rarely as easy or simple as it it might look as a finished product. I mean, it can be. It absolutely can be. There's nothing saying that you have to have lighting look a certain way or have a certain camera angle. Like, it's just my own personal preference. So absolutely no judgment, or I don't know, no harsh words for anyone that does it differently, because we all have our different take. We all do what works for us, and it all has value. Anyway, just thought I would share that little behind the scenes bit with you guys in case you're interested. So I am very at a loss for what I want to work on next after I finish this kit. And usually by this point, when I'm this close to finishing a kit, I have a pretty decent idea of what I want to work on next. Because that's just how my brain works. I start thinking immediately to like, okay, next project, what's it going to be? And this, I don't know why, I'm having a tough time this time. I say I don't know why. That's a lie. I do know why. I was lucky enough to snag one of Distracted by Diamond's brand new kits. They finally got their new kits in and started stocking them, starting with their restocks on Thursday night, I believe. Just, 4 days ago. You guys, the new kits that they have are beautiful. They signed a new artist that I'm so tempted by these pieces because they're so bright and gorgeous and springy, but they're bugs. Like, it's a really artistic piece of like a bumblebee and a moth, and trust me, they are beautiful. If you haven't seen them, go and take a look over on the Distracted by Diamonds Instagram. She's posted some previews there. Go over to her shop and look under the sold tab. They're beautiful, but I don't know if I want to work on a bug. I don't know. But one of the things I was most excited to see is that they released a new piece from Greta Lusky. She's one of my favorite artists that they license from, whatever. And she mostly does mermaids. She has some fan art for Disney pieces, but I don't really see companies licensing Disney fan art. So she does mostly mermaids. I've worked on one of her pieces before. It was one of the very first pieces that I shared on this channel. I think that was my second video that I ever did on this channel, was a post review of The Message from Distracted by Diamonds and Greta Lusky. I adore her artwork. I have 2 other pieces of hers in my stash. The one that they released, though, the brand new one, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I know that I want to work on that one, like, as soon as it comes in. Thing is, I snagged it Saturday morning, and it didn't ship out on Saturday, so it's not going to be here. Like, even if she ships out tomorrow/today for you guys, it's Monday when you're seeing this, like, I'm going to finish this piece either tonight or tomorrow, and so I'm going to have a few days, and obviously it's not an option to just not diamond paint for a few days. So all this to say, I know that I want to work on that one like as soon as she comes in, so I'm trying to find a piece in my stash that is a little bit smaller. But I think I'm not in the mood to work on something smaller because my past couple of pieces have been smaller. So if I didn't have this Distracted by Diamonds kit coming in, hopefully this week, that I know I'm going to want to work on immediately, I would otherwise start one of my big canvases, like a 70 by 90 or something like that. So, but I don't want to do that. I'm also, because the past few kits I've done have been round drill kits, I'm itching to do a square kit, which is weird because I tend to prefer round kits, but since I've done a couple, now I'm itching to do a square. I guess my last kit was a square. Why did I say the past couple kits I've done have been rounds? I know why. Because the Diamond Dots kit was a square, but because there was some gapping with the drills, I didn't get the satisfying click when I was filling in the empty spots. So I didn't get that, like, satisfaction, for lack of a better term. So, okay. But, are you guys even following me? This is crazy. So the Greta Lusky piece is coming in. It's a square. I want to do it as soon as it gets here. So I need a piece to tide me over for a few days. But none of my small kits are really calling to me. I don't know. I just keep going back to my Gems Flow app and scrolling through and being like, which of these do I want to do? No, I cannot do a 70 by 90 right now because I want to be ready to do... What's the name of this one? That's terrible. I cannot remember the name of this new Greta Lusky piece. She's a mermaid. She's underwater. She's got red hair. She really looks like Ariel a little bit to me. But you guys, those Distracted by Diamonds releases are selling so fast. And I think of myself as being relatively fast with being able to get like new releases from Distracted by Diamonds and stuff. Like I have Apple Pay set up. Like I can be super quick. I missed that kit 3 times before I finally got it. And I thought I was being fast. It's fine. I know that that's... There are a lot of people that still want to try to get those kits, so I'm not trying to like rub anyone's nose in it. That does remind me though, it had gotten me thinking. So on Thursday and Friday, I had just... It felt like I just was having a string of bad luck where there were several different releases for various things, not all diamond painting related, that I was trying to catch. And I just kept missing on everything. And then Saturday came and everything went super smoothly with a couple more releases that I was trying to grab, including I got the Distracted by Diamonds kit. And then Jim's Handmade Pen Shop reopened on Saturday morning, and I had seen previews of a couple of blanks that he was releasing, and there were a couple in there that I was like, I have to have those. Like, I've never had that with a release from Jim's Handmade Pen Shop before, where I've seen blanks and immediately been like, I am going to be so sad if I don't manage to snag that. I mean, it would have been fine. Obviously, it would have been fine. But it sort of got me thinking, I feel like sometimes, I'm sure it's mostly just coincidence, but sometimes it feels like either everything is going my way or everything is working against, like the world is working against me. Luck is working against me. And I recognize that because like on Friday night, I'd been chatting with some of my girlfriends, and then when I missed multiple various releases, then I just kind of like, I was like, I'm in a foul mood. And I knew it. I recognized it. I was like, this is silly. Like, just because I missed on a few different things between yesterday and today, this is such a first world problem. This should not be a big deal. Katie, get over yourself. Like, this is so silly. And even in spite of that, I had just the hardest time shaking, like, being in a bad mood. Also, there had just been, like, it had been kind of a tough day with the kids. It just, not just in, like, my own little bubble of, like, oh, I missed these releases or whatever. But, like, my kids seemed to be having a rough day. My husband was having a rough day. It just felt like it was one of those days. I call them Alexander days. Like Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. So I was in a foul mood. I basically disappeared. Like, I just chucked my phone and was like, I'm gonna rage clean and like rage kit down a couple of diamond painting kits. Oh, I know what it was. There was something else that happened, in our personal life that I'm not gonna get into. Sorry to be that person. Anyway, the point being, do you ever feel this way too, where you feel like either everything is going your way and you're like riding that high, you're on cloud 9, like everything is going great and just working out in your favor and all of that? Or do you feel like it's some days or some weeks or whatever, it's just the complete opposite, and it's like when it rains, it pours. It's not like oh, this one little bummer. It's all the things are not going well. And I don't know what it is. Sometimes it just feels like it comes and goes in waves, both ways, the positives and the negatives. So I feel like it's made me it almost makes me more wary. Again, first world problem, I know. It makes me wary when I'm having like a streak of really good things happening to me, because I'm like, when's the other shoe gonna drop? So I've talked about that before because I remember using that phrase specifically on my channel. But anyway, I just had that thought. But then Saturday, everything was going really well. Did I share this last time? I don't think I did. Wait. Yes, I did. Never mind. I was going to say, did I tell you guys about how excited I was that my husband found out that his pay cut's finally being lifted? Yes, I'm so happy. That's still not going to go into effect until next month, but that's fine. There is light at the end of the tunnel. My husband did get an appointment to get the vaccine. The company that he works for serves schools, and so he's able to get one that way. He's not taking one from anyone else right now. Like, it's getting easier to get appointments, so he doesn't feel like he's, taking it from someone else. But I just, I would really like to be able to get my first shot as well, but there's not really anything that I can qualify under right now, besides, I guess, maybe my weight, because I'm overweight. I don't know. We'll wait and see, but I'm excited that he's gonna have his first round. I'm really, really hoping that, any day now, that I'll be eligible as well. But anyway, let me see. I realized that I am coming up on my diamond painting anniversary. Yes, I am this extra. This you probably know if you've been here for a little bit. So because I like to keep track of all the things, I know that my diamond painting anniversary is coming up on April 1st. So April 1st was the first day that I put a drill on a canvas. And it's crazy to me to think that I haven't even been doing this hobby for a year yet. And that in the past year, I have, discovered this new hobby that has been so good for my anxiety and my stress levels, my sanity. It really has helped me get through this crazy just lockdown situation. It's also let me meet some really incredible people, which absolutely includes you if you're listening. I wouldn't have met all of you if not for this lovely hobby. And it's also made me realize that I have a condition. That condition is foot in mouth disease. And what I mean by that is that I've discovered I am really great, really, really great, even in a pre-recorded setting that I could go back and edit. I'm really good at putting my foot in my mouth. So, let me explain. Every once in a while, I'll have friends or whoever, or even just you guys in the comments, sometimes you'll respond to something that I've said in a video, and I'll realize, oh my gosh, I came off and gave a certain impression that I 100% did not mean to. I don't know what it is sometimes, just when I get on camera like this, I tend to just let it be as organic as possible, and I get words mixed up really easily, or I just get flustered super, super easily and feel like I'm always trying to make sure I'm, I don't know, communicating clearly or whatnot. Here's a great example of how that's not happening. Anyway, so look, there is a very sweet friend of mine that she and I have gotten close through, we meet each other through like the Instagram diamond painting community. I'm sure you've seen her here too in the comments before. And that's Jacqueline, Diamond Art Sparkles. And she just is such a wonderful friend that I don't have to have a filter with. And we discovered that we have been diamond painting for the same amount of time. We actually discovered inadvertently that we literally started diamond painting on the same day, April 1st, 2020. We didn't really get to meet and chat until that summer. Meet virtually. Anyway, so something just hit my window. Okay, I don't see anything. That's fun. I'm not going to edit that out because I don't have time to edit tonight. Okay, so we discovered that we share the same diamond painting anniversary. Anniversary, that's such a weird word for this. Okay, focus. So then one of us, it was me, then I suggested, I was like, oh, remember how we did this fun like 12 days of Christmas little gift exchange? Like, let's do that for our 1-year anniversary. It'll just be fun. Because we have a lot of the same like obsessions with different accessories and tools and stuff like that. And we've known each other for a while, so we know each other's tastes. Then came to find out that in a video, I think it was my Galentine's Day video, something that I said made it totally 100% sound like she's asking me for gifts. And so I'm just going to go on the record and say that's not how this works. I was trying to say something about like she's the ideas person that's, you know, coming up with fun things that we can do. And it totally came off like she's like scrounging for things. So this is me coming on and saying, no, she doesn't do that. So you'll also see, like, I'm going to share some projects that I'm working on, like thanks to some of the things that she sent for this 12 days, because today was day 1. And I had this idea that you guys will get to see when I do my cover minder stash video, which is still coming. I'm waiting because a little bird told me that I have a couple more coming. So I might be a little late. I'm not sure what day the challenge ends. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, Jeremy over at Jeremy JMTJ Crafts is issued a cover minder challenge, like a cover minder stash challenge, similar to the pen challenge, pen stash, keep leaving that word out, pen stash challenge they did a month or 2 back. This one is to show off your cover minders. So I'll link that video below if you want to go and take a look, if you want to participate either on YouTube or on Instagram. But I'm excited to show those off and also to share like how I store my cover minders. So keep an eye out for that. And let's see. Okay, let me grab another color. So I'm excited for that. But I found, I think, a good way that I'm going to store my cover minders that are not flat. So like this cover minder lays really flat and can store in the way that I'm storing my cover minders now. But I have some larger cover minders, like my dragons from Agnes Little Minders, or I have a couple of like unicorn horns from Patty Wax. Like they're more like 3D. They won't really fit like in a compact space, but I have this large tin that I had like a Burt's Bees, which is, they make like lotions and chapsticks and stuff like that. I had a large tin that I had gotten like a gift set from them at one Christmas, but it has like a really loud Burt's Bees logo all over it. but it was a good sized tin, and I thought, I'm sure I can use this for something crafting related someday. So I have a plan. I have a lot of stickers. Like, you know how a lot of small businesses will send out stickers when you buy from them? Like fun stickers, not just like a sticker with their business logo on it. So I have a stash of those, and I haven't really known what to do with them besides put them, like I'm going to put some like on my storage containers, like the lid for my Elizabeth Ward storage. Then I thought, what if I take this tin and I cover it, just cover it in stickers, and then I'm killing two birds with one stone because I'm covering up the bright yellow and like the giant Burt's Bees logo that I don't know, like it doesn't seem like as cute of a thing to store all of my minders in that way, but if I cover it in a bunch of stickers, especially ones that make me happy and that I really love, like pull my favorites, and then I have a really cute way to store my 3D cover minders. So I thought about doing that for my WIP and Chat tonight, and then I'm just too eager to see if I might be able to finish this kit tonight. I'm not sure. There's a lot of color blocking over in this section, but it'll just depend because I'm trying not to go to bed so late at night. One of the things I'm doing, you may have noticed, if you comment on my videos, I do try to respond to as many comments as I can. I got a little bit behind this past week, so I apologize for that. But I just have kind of started designating a time to respond to comments, and that's, you know, I go upstairs and just sit with my laptop in bed, and that way I can respond to comments on my laptop because I can type faster with no emojis, which I'm stuck in high school. I like using emojis, so that's, anyway, a little lost that, you know, most of my comment responses don't have emojis. Anyway, I'm still trying to keep up with comments and stay in a place where I can respond to as many as I can and at least heart them and all of that, because if you guys have taken the time out of your day to write out a response and a comment to a video that I've put up, I love and appreciate that so much. I read every single comment, and I'm grateful for it because it's a chance for me to get to engage with you and get to know you a little bit better. And it also still like leaves me flabbergasted because that means you actually watched my videos, which I love. It means the world to me. But the hard thing is just, you know, if I get 50 comments in a day and I want to make sure that I am responding to every single one of them, that usually takes me a couple minutes for each comment, and I love it, but it also, like, as I've mentioned before, I know it's not 100% sustainable for me to keep up with it like every single day. So if there are delays in responses, that's why. I have a feeling you guys probably understand and don't hold it against me, but I just like to mention that because I don't like leaving people hanging, and I wish that I could just respond more like in the moment, like during the day. But you guys know I've told you about my toddler, this Micah, this kid, the tiny tornado. I can't take my eyes off of him for the minute it would take me just to respond to a YouTube comment. Really what would happen is I'd get halfway through typing it and get interrupted, and then like the app would close and I would have no idea like where I had left off with the comment, and I have to start all over. Anyone else like that? Whether or not you have kids, and not necessarily about YouTube comments, but even just sending texts or responding to like a Facebook message or something, or Instagram message. Do you ever get like halfway through or just a few words into like typing out that response, and then you get distracted by something like kids or life or whatever, but then like the app closes, or you know, you back out of it and then you just completely forget about it, and then like 5 days later you're like, Oh, I never texted that person back. And then you have to do the thing where you're like, I'm so sorry. Like, I never finished that text. And you're like, sure, you're ignoring me. It's fine. That's me all the time. That's why I've almost, like, tried not to even open messages or texts or whatever until I know I have time to respond to them, because then they still have the notification there. They still show as unread, so I know I need to take care of it and respond to it, and I won't forget. I feel like my brain is just mush. I don't know if it's the pandemic, if it's the kids, if it's just like I'm getting older. I'm 32. I feel a little silly saying that, but just a happy update, you guys. The tablets have been a raging success and a huge lifesaver. Oh my gosh, I have no regrets. This past week was the most sane week that we've had in a while. Friday was rough, like tablets or no, like Micah especially, both kids were having just a tough day on Friday. Yeah. It's just, sorry, I was just lost in thought thinking about how crazy that day was. But no, it's been so nice to have that way to get just a little mental break during the day, to have something to redirect Micah to while Connor is doing school, so he's not all up in Connor's business. Speaking of school, we're going to have a little bit of a tough decision to make here. We just heard from our school district on Thursday or Friday. They announced that they are having another, well, it's a two-part thing. They announced that they're going to have another chance for kids to start coming back to school in person. They kind of have been doing these like onboarding dates for that sort of thing. And that's coming up next month. They need a decision by the end of this week, though, so that's a little daunting. So they can plan. And so they're not only giving the chance for more kids to come back to school, but they're also increasing instruction hours, as they're saying it. So the way that they've been doing it so far has been kind of a hybrid learning model, where even the kids that are going in person to school, they're not in school, like in the classroom with their teacher for the full normal, like instructional day that a school normally would have. Instead, they're there for like a half or 3/4 of the day and then have some asynchronous work to do at home. That's like homework, but really it's like we're not having the kids do this in the classroom at school. We're doing this at home instead, so that they can either, rotate through cohorts that are in person or just have kids on campus for a shorter amount of time, so there's less exposures. Anyway, all this to say, we really, really want to be able to send Connor back because he's in kindergarten, and I feel like him getting to go in person at all, even though he would only be back for a couple of months before they break for summer, I still feel like that could be really beneficial to him. And I feel like a month from now, all of our teachers should be fully vaccinated. Adam he'll be just coming up on getting his second shot when Connor would go back. Hopefully I'll have had my first shot by then. So it feels like it could be a good time to send him back. But we've been pretty conservative, during the pandemic with just really, really limiting our outings. And Connor's been doing all his school from home all year. I don't know. I'm really not sure. I'm probably going to message his teacher and ask for her thoughts because she has more perspective than I do, just to sort of get a sense for if she feels like it's a good idea. Not that it's her decision, but, I value her input. So we will see. Connor will be eligible for the summer school program since he's in a special ed class. If you're new and haven't heard me mention before, Connor's autistic. And if you're curious about why I use the label, why I say he's autistic and that he doesn't have autism, it's something that most, not necessarily all, of the autistic community tends to prefer. It's the same reason that you don't refer to someone who's deaf. You don't say that they have deafness. You say that they are deaf, because it's such a core part of like what makes them up and like their life experience. I might not be explaining that entirely perfectly, so forgive me if you're autistic and I've misspoken. But anyway, until Connor is, old enough to, if he wants to express to us, that he prefers something different, that's fine. But for the moment, that's just, anyway, I just didn't want you to think that I was being insensitive or that you were like cringing inside at hearing me say he's autistic and not has autism. That was a tangent. Anyway, we're very fortunate. Our school district has a lot of really fantastic special ed support services. And one of those is he'll be eligible for the summer school program. I'm grateful that we'll have that. And I think if nothing else, like even if we don't send him back in person for school this official school year, like for the spring, I think we'll send him for in-person summer school, and that could help him transition to being able to do first grade in person. Still not totally sure what first grade will look like for him. Like I said, we live in a relatively large school district, and we live in a state that provides generally like strong services and funds for special education. So we're lucky that there are actually a few different options that'll be available to him in first grade as far as different classrooms with different kinds of supports. If you're the parent of a kid with special needs, or if you have a loved one that has special needs, I just want to take a moment just to say that I see you. I know that the past year has to have likely been pretty difficult for you, and just want to send you all my love and really hope that you're doing okay. Let me know how you're doing, even if you're not doing okay. And I really, really hope that, with things starting to look a little bit closer to normal, or like that's maybe in our not so far future, I hope that you start to feel like you have the supports that you and your loved ones need as well. This has been tough. This has been really tough, to say the least. So all this to say, Adam and I are going to, talk to Connor's teacher, and then he and I will sit down and just try to talk through like, okay, what do we think is the right call for him at this point? We'll see. It's tough. So other stuff that's going on. How are you guys surviving the time change? Whether or not you have kids. I didn't even think to bring it up in my WIP and Chat last week, because it was Sunday. Was it Sunday or was it Saturday when I recorded? I think I recorded on Saturday, and so the time change hadn't happened yet. Guys, the time change snuck up on me. I think maybe because I don't have like a small baby. When you have like an infant or like a young toddler, if you are anything like we were, like our kids thrived on being on a schedule, and that especially applied to sleep. And I was the crazy parent that like I let my kids nap schedule and bedtime needs, like those ruled our lives, because otherwise nobody was happy, because I don't know, my kids just really, really thrived on having a schedule and getting a really set amount of regular sleep and having a really solid like routine leading up to nap time and bedtime. Some people's kids are more flexible. Mine are not. They're better, much better now, but as babies, yeah, so that meant that whenever daylight savings time would come up, it was like a whole thing. I was like mapping out days beforehand. I was like, okay, we're going to adjust the schedule by 10 minutes each day, and we're going to make this gradual. It's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Oh man, the sleep deprivation with kids, especially with babies, the sleep deprivation is unreal, and the effect that it has on your mental health is so real because it's incredible in the worst way. Like how much sleep deprivation can affect not just like your day to day, but your actual mental health and ability to function as a human being and a parent. So I've always been kind of a sleep nut with my kids. And it's paid off because they go to bed so easy at night, and they wake up happy and well rested, and I have my sanity for that. All this to say, daylight savings time, this was super easy this time around for us. I just kind of ignored it, and then it was like on Sunday, oh, the time changed overnight. Let's, we'll do like bedtime half an hour, late tonight, and then push it again the next day, and hopefully the kids will just adjust. And they did. They're fine. But can we all agree that like daylight savings time is an archaic notion that needs to be abolished? Yeah. No. It's like proven because science is real. Like research and studies and statistics and science have shown that like daylight savings time has an incredibly detrimental effect on people's physical health, and like it just is not necessary. The negatives outweigh the positives at this point. So I really wish that we could just like, can we please get rid of the time change? It's not, I understand why they used to do it. Like I grew up in a really small town in the country. Like there was a cornfield next to my high school. Like we heard the cows mooing at the football games on Friday nights. There's a video, like there's a WIP and Chat where I actually go into like a lot of really funny detail about what small town living was like growing up. I now live in a suburb in Southern California, and no, it's not. I don't live in a farm town anymore. Lots of fond memories, and I love going back to visit when we go see my parents. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, so I understand that the reason that they do daylight savings time, at least as it was explained to me, was that it's kind of a holdover from when there was just the way that like farmers needed to work in like agriculture. And also, I remember my mom telling this. I don't know that it's accurate, but she used to say it had to do with like kids waiting for the bus or like getting up to go to school in the morning, and with the time change that meant it wouldn't be as dark when they would get up in the morning. I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't know if that's correct. But what I do know is that there are like random pockets of the United States, like most of the state of Arizona except for one small area. There's, I think, parts of Illinois that they just don't do the time change. Like, they're just like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And, like, they're fine. So can the rest of the country get on board with that? Because my husband is making lots of loud, stretchy noises. Just sorry. Anyway, so what are you pro time change or anti time change? We can still be friends even if you like the time change. So, as far as, because I think I'm coming up on, I'm not that far from an hour. I chat a lot. As far as what's coming up. So, I will pick some kind of kit to work on after this. We'll see. I don't know if you'll see it in next week's WIP and Chat or not. It'll just depend on what I pick and how long it takes me. But I will be finishing this kit either tonight or tomorrow. and look for a post review on it, including a side-by-side that I'm going to do with my friend Steph. Drills are a girl's best friend over on Instagram. She just completed this kit from DIY Moonshop again. They're both legally licensed from, both shops have legally licensed this artwork from Tanya Shatseva. So I'm excited for that post review. Keep an eye out for that. Depending on when my Distracted by Diamonds kit comes in, you will absolutely see an unboxing. Like, as soon as that kit is in my hands, I'll record an unboxing that night and have a video up the next day because I cannot wait to get into that kit and to share it with you guys. If you're hoping to get your hands on one of Distracted by Diamonds' new releases, I will share the same encouragement that I have tried to share in the past when this has come up. So just know, Distracted by Diamonds, their kits sell out so fast, and never faster than when they're brand new releases. And like I said, these brand new releases just came out a few days ago. And so it has been the Wild West trying to get your hands on one. Please don't be discouraged. I would actually encourage you to don't even try. Give it a few days or a week. Those kits will still be there, and I promise they will get easier to get your hands on. Some of them will even start to sit for a while. So don't give up if you try once or twice and don't manage to snag one. They always go super, super fast when they first come out. I recommend that you, if you have an iPhone or an Android, set up Google Pay or Apple Pay, depending on your device. And that, at least the Apple Pay, will let you basically one-click buy from the listing page. And frankly, if you don't have the ability to do one-click buy and you're trying to get your hands on one of the most popular kits, it's going to be near impossible because they don't, Etsy doesn't hold items in your cart like some shops do. Anyway, definitely go over to her Etsy shop and hit the heart button to favorite it so that it'll show up on your list of favorite shops. Double check her announcement section because she lists her restock times and days there, as well as updates if she's taking any time off. Gentle reminder, as always, to be kind to small business owners, which Robin at Patty Wax absolutely is one of those. Realistically, she only lists as many kits. Well, I said that sentence out of order. It's getting late. Robin only lists as many kits as she and her husband can realistically get boxed up and shipped out that day because they restock twice a day, except for Wednesdays. And it's just the two of them doing all of this. So just, again, gentle reminder to be kind to small businesses. I know it's frustrating. I highly, highly empathize. I just want to share that encouragement with you. So definitely go and check that out. And like I said, keep an eye out. As soon as I have that, I will be sharing it with you guys and starting it. The Minder Stash video will be coming. That probably won't be for another week or two. And I have a couple other videos in mind, but I also have a couple of videos that I've recorded in the past month that I sort of just have on standby for when I have a gap that I have an unboxing. I think I did it a month ago now. I'm still going to post it. It's an unboxing from the company Dragons and Beasties. I'd gotten their holiday mystery box and it is so stinking adorable. And I haven't had the chance to share that with you guys yet. So I definitely want to get to that. Yeah. That'll be fun. Did you see a drill fall on my canvas? Yes, I did. Okay. But I think I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Might actually end it before the 1 hour mark for once. But if you made it all the way to the end, in honor of this kit being Black Hole in the Milky Way, put some kind of space emoji down in the comments. Again, it's really, maybe I'm silly. It's fun for me to see who makes it all the way to the end of these super long WIP and Chats. And I'm curious though, do any of you watch my videos on like a faster playback speed? Because that's the thing you can do on YouTube. When I'm behind on YouTube videos, I definitely do that. But it distorts people's voices, so it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up before you click away. Let me know your thoughts on all the things down in the comments. Let me know how you're doing and what you've got going on this week, or what project you were working on while we chatted tonight. And if you made it all the way end and you're not already subscribed, I think you would like it here, so you should probably subscribe. But no, if you want to, go ahead and subscribe, and you can hit the bell to be notified whenever I share new videos, or whenever I go live or something like that, which we'll see. I am hoping to maybe do it every other week or every few weeks. We'll see, but I've loved getting to do a couple of lives with you guys. It's so much fun. Anyway, really gonna let you go this time. I hope you have a really wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, friends.